Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. Today we're going to talk about making pickles. When you go out in the morning and you harvest and you come back with a bushel of cucumbers, there's only one thing to do. Start making some pickles. When it comes to making pickles, and I'm going to make fermented and regular canned pickles, you have to have I'd say a cucumber that you prefer as far as uh, the style and stuff. Now, these are not necessarily pickling cucumbers, but these are what I use. Now, I don't use cucumbers when they get up this large. Now, I might go ahead and use this. I just have one. But I want to talk to you about these. Now, this one will do just as well as the other. The seeds are going to be a little bit bigger. A lot of people don't prefer a mature cucumber because it has bigger seeds. But some do. And I want to talk about color. Now, you can see these are yellow. This is the bottom of the cucumber where it's against the ground. When they're hanging, they're good about the color is even all the way around, but when they're on the ground, they're going to yellow. Now, this one here, and the light could be partially affected. This fluorescent really does want to turn it yellower, but this is not got to the state to where it's bitter. Now, a lot of people like real big pickled dill pickles. So, and they do have a little more flavor once they get to that size. But a lot of people like smaller pickles when they're pickling. And now this is actually a pickling variety. This is a national pickle variety, and it's designed. That was what National used for pickling. And this one here is poinsettia. It's a good producer, but it's not really a pickling variety. Now, I like to pull a lot of them when they're a little thinner when I'm going to do pickles, but you can pull them bigger. But that was what I wanted to show as far as color. Now, even this one, it looks like it's yellow, but it's actually just fine. You can see even this one. But I wanted to show you that. So when you go to buy your cucumbers, and say you're buying them from a farmer, and some people pick them a whole lot less often than I do. I pick them daily so I can get at a prime size that the market would like and that I would like, because if they don't sell, I'm going to do something with them. But some pick them every 3-4 days, and they'll have some big yellow ones. Now, the ones that are yellow that are going to be bitter are going to be yellow on all sides. They're not going to be yellow on just one side of it. So that'll help you as far as determining if that's what you want whenever you're going to do your pickles. But that is really important. Now, I've rinsed these off. Each one of these little bumps here has kind of a little spike on it. In fact, it can be irritating sometimes picking them, especially if your hands are tender. Same thing with this variety. And you rinse those off, and now they're ready to go. I'm going to pickle all these that I have in this container, and these I'll put in the cooler for the market. Okay, I added a few more cucumbers to my batch here, and we're going to get started. First thing you got to do is cut them up. Now, we like spears, so we cut them up into pieces that fit in a jar good. First thing is, though, before you cut them up, cut the ends off. Now, if you want to end up with pickles that don't stay crispy for a long time, it's that end that causes the problem. And usually if you have any bitter place on a cucumber, it's going to be the end of it. But we're going to cut all these up. Okay, you're going to need some sterilized jars, and we're going to put our spices in the bottom before we pack these with cucumbers. And here's my recipe for those that might want to try these. I've used this for quite a few years. I had several recipes, and this was the one we liked the best. It's really simple, and we're going to use some cayenne, some dehydrated cayennes. We've got some freeze dried onions here. This is a sweet onion that I'm using. We've got our freeze dried garlic. You can use fresh for these. That's no problem. We've got some yellow mustard seed. Seems like it's kind of hard to find that in the stores, and then we've got some calcium chloride, and this is from Pure Organic. You can use pickle crisp is the same stuff. But anyway, we're going to get all these jars loaded up with spices, and then we're going to get some cucumbers in them. Okay, with these particular types of pickles, when you do spears, it's just a matter of packing them in there. Make sure that your cucumbers aren't too long, because you want them to be about an inch down from the top. And occasionally I'll have to cut me a little piece off of there. But what we're going to do is we're just going to continue to put these in here. And we're not putting these in here loose. I mean, they're loose right now, but we're actually, I'm forcing as many down in here as I can to where these cucumbers kind of hold themselves down. They'll be kind of forced under the ring there, or the taper of the jar. Now, sometimes if I have a lot of shorter cucumbers, I might put one or two across the top, but normally it works good just pushing them down, because this year we've got plenty of big cucumbers. You just find wherever you got a space in there and force them down, because once I get finished, and I've still got a little bit of room, but once I get finished with this, there's not going to be any of these cucumbers moving. That they're in there. But anyway, we'll just pack the rest of these jars. And what we're doing now is we're heating up some water to do our canning, and then we'll heat up our vinegar, water, and salt mix. Okay, we've got our liquid hot. We're just going to fill these a half an inch from the top. Now I'm using Redmond sea salt, and some of the minerals will tend to settle to the bottom. I just make sure I stir it up, and scoop the minerals in there too. Those extra minerals will make that pickle that much better. And this is all there is to it, is put that liquid in there. Whoa! I guess I maybe put a little too much liquid in there. Anyway, let's take a little out. Now, after you put that liquid in there, you want to take a rag. That one can use just a little more, but you want to take a rag. I use a damp rag. Wipe anything that's on the top. And then we just put this lid on here, kind of not real tight. If you put this down too tight, you're going to end up with your jars exploding. But anyway, after we do that, we're just going to take these jars, we're going to put them off in our canner. And then we're going to set our timer for 10 minutes. Okay, we got them in our canner here. And we're going to let it heat up a little bit, and then we're going to time it for 10 minutes for these quarts. And also make sure your water is over the top of your lids. They say an inch, but just make sure it is over the top of your lids. And it's like it might be bubbling a little bit. But anyway, we're going to take and set this timer. Okay, I've managed to do 21 quarts of pickles. Now, you might think that's a lot, but normally in our store of canned pickles, we normally try to get our count up to 60. And in these years like last year where we actually run out of pickles, had to plan a late crop because we sold all our cucumbers and forgot that we needed to make pickles. But right now, with what we've got in the store, about 9 and this, that's about 30. And that's well enough for next year if we don't make any more. But we try to do a couple years. The last batch we did, we ended up actually, we were eating 4-year-old pickles last year, and they were still fantastic. This works out real good. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a good way to preserve your garden vegetables as far as the cucumbers go. And you can always change the flavor in it, make you a small batch, see how you like it. Now let these set about 2 weeks. And if you have any that don't seal after this process, if there's some kind of reason they don't seal, just let them cool down and refrigerate them. And you can eat that one first. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe, hit the bell, select all, give it a big thumbs up, and share this video. Enjoy that gardening experience.